I'm back with another rant slash advice for American black women trying to date African men. So some of this will relate to anybody just trying to date a foreigner. So whether you're a white woman, whatever color you are. Well, we done watched some Lifetime movies where the Iranian dude took the little girl and the woman took her passport. We done seen all the horror stories on Lifetime, right? Um, and here in America, black women are, dating African men, some of them happily ever after. Some, women don't want to date none other than black or, African men. Um, for whatever reason, their reasonings is cool. But I will tell you, if you are dating an African man or about to marry an African man, you might want to listen to this. And part of this is, it could be a little biased, but Um, the very first thing I want to touch on is hygiene, especially with what's all going on in the world right now. I don't want to say it because I don't want the video to get or the audio video stuff to get took down, but we all know what's going on, April 13th, 2020. All this mess that's been going on. Some of us have been in it for 29, 30 days already. And some of us are just now starting, quarantines and all of this stuff. So hygiene, okay? More than ever, this whole thing's exposing nasty folks. Um, I have been to people's home, African bachelors. And this is even not even just African dudes. I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's just dirty dudes. But some of these dudes, they don't use soap when they wash their hands. They wash their body with their hands. Now, this is more of a African European thing. Like I've seen people, they use loofahs and in some cases just their hand. Now, in my personal opinion, you can't get shit crumbs out your ass with your hand. And I don't want that loofah in my behind. Okay? I like just a good old fashioned washcloth. Like I like the all white washcloth. One washcloth, a little bit more heavy duty, soft side, rough side pattern, so I can differentiate between the one for my face. The ones for my face are normally a little more coarse and cheap, but I can tell the difference, so I won't grab the wrong one. But in my opinion, I think that you need to have that towel and soap, and especially after number two or long days of work, you got to give your body a shampoo, whether you in the tub or in the shower. You got to get that crack together, or it's going to be shit crumbs in your bed and in your drawers. Now, if the thing is that good to you to where you don't care, thumbs up to you. You probably got shit crumbs in your butt too. Um, but yeah, and even your feet. Now, African people's feet can be something. Like the guy I was dealing with for all the stuff happened with us, I took him to go get pedicures. No, I didn't pay. I took him, like introduced him to the pedicures, and he loved it. And he knows that I like for his feet to be nice and pedicured. So he makes sure he get there every week. He know I'm not gonna get down there and do them. He know he not gonna get down there and do them. Now his feet looks like they made, they're discolored. And I don't know if this because they walk barefoot, the sandals, all the, his feet be clean, but they, look rough. But some dudes' feet is straight up dirty and stink. And I mean, I'm sorry. Like after a certain age, that's just unacceptable. I don't care where you came from. Okay, but if you're willing to deal with that, you just have to say, "Hey, honey, your feet stink, baby." If they argue you down like they don't, you got to fight with a grown man to get in there and wash their butt. Honey, you think you fighting now? That should not be a fight that y'all should have. Washing your behind and washing your feet and washing your hands with soap, not just water, with soap. And that happy birthday song, yeah, wrists, arms. This is what you should have been doing all along. But honey, you got a lot of dudes that will walk up out that bathroom after number 2. And the ones that I've seen do it are Africans. Africans. After a number 2. And I ain't saying all, and I'm not bragging on, all Africans nasty. No, I'm not saying that. But you have some dudes that somebody didn't teach them right. Now, if you have the patience to go there with them, have at it, boo-boo. Now, how it should go is one mention of it should embarrass them enough to get all their stuff together. You may want to step in the shower with them and show them. And if they say, hey, I don't want to do that. I ain't doing all of that. Well, honey, get out that shower, put your clothes on, and walk out that door. If it's your house, put him out the door. Okay? I'm going to just tell you straight up. Because if you can deal with shit crumbs in your bed and you're going to be sitting up there, it might be a time your washer dryer broke and the world about the how stuff going now. You might have to wash some clothes by hand and you going to screw up some shitty drawers, honey. Make up in your mind now if that's what you're going to do. Because if that dude is washing with his hands, guaranteed it's going to be stuff for you. Ugh, it's just going to be nasty. Okay? You shouldn't even want nobody. And then y'all turn opposite direction in the bed. He got his butt on you. Ugh, just rubbing shit crumbs all on you. That's just too gross. If you can deal with that and that thing that good, honey, go for it. And you like, girl, please, ain't nobody do it. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. You might have to teach one of these little African dudes or older African dude. For real, you might. Check that stuff out. Number 2, y'all are about to get married and you bring up the topic of life insurance, honey. You need to bring that topic up. You both need to discuss your final wishes. If this dude is just hell bent on not discussing this, he don't want to do it, he procrastinating this and this and that, you're going to be having GoFundMes and fundraisers or whatever, because I guarantee you he want his body shipped back to Africa. I guarantee you he want his body shipped back to Africa. And your butt going to be somewhere having all types of parties and fundraisers, hoping that his friends come through. And if his friends are like working like him, like no money and ain't made no plans, they ain't got no money. They going to give you $20, $30, maybe $100. Do you know how much it costs to ship somebody's body to another country? Honey, a lot. And they still going to want to have a celebration thing over there for him. Not true enough, I will say African folks come through for their own. They come through for their people. Okay. And it's a lot of Black Americans too. Got to have a GoFundMe and this and that. But we don't have to ship nobody nowhere. It might take us a while to get everything together. If the person, didn't have their stuff together, it might take a while. But we have those same problems too. So I am not snooting my nose down at nobody. Trust and believe, I understand. But this is because somebody didn't sit up here and have these conversations. These is grown-up conversations that you have. You grown, y'all finna y'all doing grown people stuff. So if he gives you pushback, and he is fighting, oh, you gonna poison me, what you trying to kill me and all of this, honey, he might not be the one, honey. But you can push back and say, hey, I have life insurance too. Are you going to kill me? This may just not be you might not get it all done in one day. You might want to ease to it. It might take 30 days to get this stuff done. And if he's a real grown man, he's going to sit here and work with you to get this stuff done, especially if you guys are planning a future together. But if he doesn't want to get this stuff done, you probably want to get that ring on back, if you even have a ring. Okay? So, number 3, don't let this man tell you that he living like these Nollywood movies. If y'all sitting watching Nollywood movies together, you see the gate man, you see you see the people working in the house, you see them running around with the little thing and king hats on. And I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't go on in Africa, but I'm saying it's a good possibility this dude is not from that. Okay. Unless he is already over here, he's living good, and he's a student, and you see he don't pay no bills, and you see he living a nice, got a nice house, nice car. But even then, he might be a scammer. So that he he still might not be living on the up and up. So don't, until you go to Africa and you physically see people working in his house, and you see his parents sitting around with some type of little thing in their head, and king hats and queen hats on, and all them beautiful dresses and stuff they be wearing, and the gate man, until you see that with your own eyes, girl, and if you dreaming that's how you gonna be living, girl, you losing your mind. Because 9 times out of 10, if that is his portion, if that's how he's living, his parents wants him to marry someone wealthy so they can keep the wealth and the power, all in the family. They don't want him to marry no little broke girl from America. You might not be broke, your parents might be middle class, but again, and again, it could just be for citizenship. He still could just be marrying you for citizenship, and his parents is perfectly cool with him, scamming and gaming and whatever to do what he got to do to get that American citizenship, because that way they can get their butts over here too. So you got to keep your eyeballs open. I'm not saying that there are not people happily ever after married to an African man, even when it started off on shady ground and they just maybe grew to love each other, or however that all stuff worked out. But honey, I'm not hoping and guessing with my life. Okay. Here's another thing. People think that psychopaths and narcissists and all of that are only Europeans and only come from America and this and that. No, honey. It's just a chemical imbalance in your brain. Anybody can be crazy. You can be raised up by crazy people, and that stuff will rub off on you. So going forward, no, these little side digs, your food ain't never good enough. Your house ain't never good enough. You don't look good enough. This ain't never good enough. Those are little side digs. That's some narcissist stuff. And they finna set you up for a lifetime of agony. And you guys mess around and have kids together. Now you got a co-parent with this psycho. And if you go off on him, see, I told you she was ghetto. I told you she was crazy. But they don't sit up there and show all of the gaslighting and all the little stuff that they did to get you to that point where you about to run them over. Because it can drive you stone cold crazy. All those little digs. Nothing is never good enough. Right? Especially after you done gave it up, ironically. So, honey, don't, please. And just the lying alone. I could not tell you why I'm not going to tell you that they all be lying like this, but I done met men and women from Africa. Because they, in their mind, they think, well, how was she going to go to Africa and verify my story? No, you don't have no way, but I could just tell. I could just be like, why is they doing all this lying for no damn reason? We could be talking about business stuff that we can be putting together, this, that type of stuff gets you killed. You be done took a trip over there with them and not came back because they done sat up there and told all type of lies. Now they got to kill your ass because they done lied too much. So going forward, know that this can be some dangerous crap too. You could be dealing with a real seriously dangerous person. And all that lying is a red flag. If you forgive them and keep forgiving them and keep forgiving them, please. Here's another thing. All this building houses and this and that, WhatsApp pictures of houses they so-called building, or pictures of their houses and this and that. Honey, if you don't see no receipts from the contractor, money out the bank sent to Africa, if you don't see tangible, physical evidence that this is their house, just assume their asses is lying. And tell your butt get over there and he put them keys in that house like it's his, the gate dude opened it up. Like I say, same thing with the parents. Same thing with if they telling you they live in this type of way. Until you see this stuff with your own eyeballs. And I'm not saying that you have to see the physical house, because y'all might be planning on retiring there. So he may already have it built. He may have tenants in it, renting it out. His people, his siblings might be living there. Who knows? But you might get another surprise. He might have a whole nother family living in there. His for real family, his for real wife and kids. Okay, you the American wife and kids. You get over there and where your passport at? Now you in a Lifetime movie. So okay, that's I covered that. um, I covered the hygiene. I covered just the silly lies and stuff like this. I would say, uh, going forward, tread lightly, honey, because in a lot of instances, it's just sex. Same thing. I'm not saying it is different. Not like American dudes don't be trying to come up on no booty, but they stories and they stuff is easier to verify because they are here. It's a little bit more difficult to verify somebody's story, stuff they telling you out your mouth, out their mouth, if they from another country. Oh, I got another one. If they telling you they gonna pay bills, they gonna do this, they gonna take you on trips, hold them to that. If they say y'all going on a trip in December and y'all don't go, be like, hey, I thought we was going on a trip. Oh, my money. So I don't know how many times you're gonna take the excuses, but I would say probably after the second. Now, I wouldn't even say the second after the first one, especially if you had enough time, because I've been on it. You tell me something in March, April, we gonna do in December. Shoot, August come, hey, we still doing that? September come, we still. I'm getting my clothes together. Give me some money so I can start getting my clothes together. October, November come. Okay, you where the tickets at? You got the confirmation? Oh, they get the double time. That's how you knew. That's how you know. And if I was you, as soon as they get the, and I don't know, I would stop answering that phone. And see, again, this is where the narcissist gaslighting crap gonna come out. Oh, you only wanted me for the trip. No, you lied about the trip, so I left your ass. You lied about this, so I don't deal with liars. Well, I told you. No, I talked to you in August. I talked to you in September. I talked to you in October, November. Remember, you gave me a few dollars to go get the clothes. Supposedly we going. See, all of because because they want to screw you all the way up to December. A lot of times, what will happen is just they just want some ass. Okay, they'll tell you whatever, and this is not even just African men. This is any damn man. They will tell your ass whatever. If you willing to give that butt up quick, too quick, and give it up frequently and all the time and just lay it out for them, they're going to treat you any kind of way anyway. And I'm sorry, you might deserve it a little bit because you shouldn't be running around here popping it like it's hot unless you don't care about the consequences of that. The consequences of that is the broken promises and all the lies and all of this and snap. So going forward, if they say they're going to do something, hold their feet to the fire, even to the smallest thing. If they say, I'm coming over here Thursday to do this, and that, they but don't come Thursday. Then they come calling Friday, Thursday night at night, after the stuff y'all was supposed to do Friday. Don't answer that phone, girl. You better not. Block that number, put him on punishment, whatever you going to do. Now, the stuff may materialize because he like, she done cut it off. Let me get over here and get this stuff right and put some double and triple on there so she don't be so mad at me. Or they just call the other numbers in their phone and play them girls. They like, oh, you might be too hard. It's too much work. It's too much work. So going forward, that's something to look at and think about. Now, I don't consider myself a gold digger, but I do believe in the more traditional of roles, and that is a lot of the reason why I'm attracted to African men, because they believe in the traditional roles too. Some of them are already Americanized, and some of them just like any man, just be kind of whatever, however they think that they envision a relationship being. Me personally, the type of guy that I want The type of guy that I will even allow to be around me, he has to be a provider type. That's it. I don't want no dude that's depending on me and counting and depending on my money. I want him to think like, your little money, girl, please keep your little money. If he don't think like that, then that's a good possibility we're not gonna be together. Cause I'm not gonna sit here and build up no dude and then they play me. I would rather for them to put into me or put in, and I hold the equity versus they hold my equity. That's not gonna work. Not for me. Now, to each woman to his own. To each woman to his own. But in my opinion and in my experience, when a man invests in you and he has put into you, whether it's money, time, well, we gonna go and say what it is: money and time. When they've invested their money and their time, and in a lot of instances, they DNA and you guys have children together and stuff like this, and you're feminine and just womanly and stuff, you kind of get, in my opinion, you get what you want. Versus that hard, oh, I don't need you. And they like, oh, she don't need me. Let me get on up out of here. She don't need me. And they don't have no problems leaving them type of chicks. The needy, who they think needy. The needy, I can't leave, honey. We got to keep this going on the low. I can't leave my wife and kids, honey. Is you crazy? I can't leave my wife and kids. No. I'm telling you, you do a survey and you look at it and see. I bet you any amount of money, the sweet, feminine, no bill paying young ladies coming out way better. And people like, oh, what, you ain't got no money? Ain't nobody said I ain't had no money. He don't need my money. He wants to be the man, the breadwinner of the house. And I meet a lot of African men, that's how they feel. They want their woman to not be stressed out, wrinkles in her face, and be home drinking water, and ready with that booty. Okay? and she can, and if they not a mean-spirited person, she could be ready with some African food. It's I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of easy now. Shoot, they do the few. I know a few African dudes that like American food, really, really like American food, and don't like African food. But I only know them in passing. The guys that I've dated, my ex-husband and my ex-fiance, those two gentlemen eat pretty much the same damn thing. Pretty simple, like pretty easy to please. Working to try to figure out how to making them dish and getting them right and this and that, that took a little practice, but I enjoy cooking. So it didn't bother me at all. If you not a good cook and not good in the kitchen and not confident at that, then you may have some problems. But I'm just telling you things to look out for. Red flags. We already talked about if you know my channel, we talked about Akata already. So it's up to you, baby. Okay, so I kind of went in a little bit, so I'm going to end it on a good note. When you got a good African man, you can set your watch by them. Like, they like like I say, the same foods. They have almost the same routine, especially if they have like a job or something that they're doing, even if they have their own business. You can set your watch by them. Okay? They gonna like to dress. They gonna like to go out. Oh man, I forgot to say, stay out their friends' face. Don't be touching them and hugging on their friends. Just say hi to them. You could shake their hand or whatever. Pat them on the back, side hug. But then go on out the conversation. If it's some women there, go on, start talking to the women. I will say, overall, stay out their friends' face. Now you can serve them or show them where the food is in your house or wherever you guys are at. Definitely concentrate on your own man first. I would think that would be an American thing too, but for sure with African men, Don't be kikiing and stay out that conversation, period. Just be quiet. I'm serious. They talking about politics in Africa. You don't know what they talking about. And here you come wanting to say something. Just sit there and be pretty. Or if you at home, go in your room, start watching TV. That's it. Stay. It's if you really, really pretty. I hope you feel like you pretty, even if you may not be called pretty. I hope you feel pretty and gorgeous anyway. But if you really, really pretty, just sit there and smile. If you guys are out or whatever, definitely don't overdrink. This is just stuff you shouldn't do anyway if you a real classy lady. But stay out they friends' face. Now they may ask you some, little I don't even be. But I wouldn't say act dumb though. Definitely assert that you have a brain, but then come on up out the conversation. I'm just telling you, you do whatever you want to do. I'm serious though. Stay out they friend and don't be hugging all on them and touching all on their friends. Don't please don't, cause they gonna feel some type of way about that. Trust me, and that's gonna be an argument point. But back to what I was saying about the good African guys, and this is just a good guy. It really doesn't. We talking about African men, so let's keep it on topic. A good African man that really truly loves you, um, and doesn't mind, telling you the truth about their past, whether it's from humble beginnings or wonderful beginnings, you know. But the latter, if you're dealing with someone just telling you, this first, second date and third, fourth date, you barely know these people. They telling you how rich they are, their parents, and this is that. They probably lying, just like here, because wealthy people, they don't move like that. Just think about how real wealthy people move. If you don't know any wealthy people, go get to know some wealthy people so you can see how they move. They don't tell all their business and telling this and telling that, telling all their parents' business. They don't do that. So going forward, there are some really, really good African men out there. I have to give them props. I love African men, especially when they super chocolate and black, and I love that accent. you know, I love even, when they get dressed up and they looking all classy, and I love the African dresses. Um I like I just like the culture. Some of the African cultures. Nigerian culture, Kenyan culture. Um Actually those are only two I really know. Kenyan and Nigerian. I take that back. My friend is from Cameroon, but she acts more like, she has a more Nigerian way about her because she spent a lot of time in Nigeria, so she's Nigerian. But I do know a Cameroon lady. Um, I know a lady. I just met her, so I can't say that I know her. I don't forgot where she's from already. But going forward, there are good African men out there, man. And when you get one, you're not gonna want to give him. You're gonna want to do this stuff that I just said because you're gonna want to keep him. You're gonna see that he's not bragging about his stuff, his life, his parents. He's not trying to play like he lives some Nollywood movie, even if he do. Even if his parents are wealthy and have status in Africa, he's not gonna tell you. Not straight off the back. He's gonna wait till he builds that trust with you, and little by little, he may pay all your bills or some, or buy you a new car and do this and do that. He's gonna make you feel good. Oh, and when he talking to you in that accent, girl, baby, I'm gonna be there by 10, and he pull up his 9:59 or whatever, but it is 10. Okay, he does what he says, and if he can't do it for whatever reason, um, you know, he will, let you know in advance and make provisions to make it up to you. And I mean, of course, this is just applied to, any man that's serious about you. But when you're trying to date African men, you got to get past all of them lies and all of this and that and the cultural differences. Um, I don't have nothing wrong with the loofah thing. I know I kind of went in on that. Um, the loofah actually is okay, but the hands, straight up hands, no, honey. You can't be sitting up here talking about you done cleaned your behind good with your hand. I mean, you might as well be white. And just this is just strictly my opinion. I don't got nothing against white folks and nothing against folks that use their hand washing up. But anybody know a black American know for sure we use wash towels and washcloths and stuff. And ain't nobody using their hand. Is you crazy? I really don't like dirty dudes though, but bachelor dudes and in my opinion and in my experience, dudes from other countries. I met an Albanian guy, just funky as he could be, and I had to let him know he was so embarrassed. He got himself together, came back like, look, can I get another try? I didn't say it in front of folks, but I was like, baby, did you just get off work? Because you are really, really strong. Like, whew. And so he was like too embarrassed. Like, I only had to tell him once. He got himself together. I have seen African dudes, bachelors, dudes living together, crib nasty, toilet nasty, this, that. Like my ex-husband, my Kenyan man, that was not his portion. He was a very, very clean man. Every time I got up to clean, he got up to help me. He didn't watch me clean, watch me fold clothes. He would help every single time. He like, oh, we cleaning now. So I'm not used to no dirty dude. I'm sorry. And Jay lived the farm life, lived the village life. And his mom did, and his dad passed away. And his mom had to raise him. She did a damn good job. Thumbs up to her. I don't want to say her name. I don't want to say his name. I still love him. We have a beautiful, beautiful child together. And he's a good dude. I just have to always give him his props. But my ex-fiance, I had to teach him a lot of things. And I'm sorry to say, they say love make you do crazy stuff. I guess. It's just some guys, it may not even just be African dudes, but some dudes is just dirty. Ugh. And perfectly okay with that. And so you kind of have to deal with that and teach them. Now, I'm not sitting there because I'm not going to be nobody maid. Okay. We can hire a maid and I'm going to check you. I'm not going to do it in front of nobody or in public. But if I catch you come out that bathroom and you ain't wash your hands, I'm going to say something. I'm not just going to sit there and just, ew, don't touch me. Ah, you nasty. I'm like, ugh, you ain't wash your hands. I'm going to tell them straight up. And in most cases, that will embarrass the crap out of them and they will never, ever, ever do it again. And in some cases, you have a dirty dude, don't see nothing wrong with being dirty. They do whatever you tell them in front of you because they want your behind. But behind closed doors, these things don't never become habits. You go in their house, you don't see no wife. How is you washing your behind? What is you doing? And in some cases, you bring it up one time. You bring up something that's gross one time and they embarrassed it and they change it. But some dudes like it like that. Now, hopefully, my little audio session get passed along and these dudes will get themselves together before y'all even get to them. And they can play like they always been doing this and we'll just let them have that, okay? But I'm going to tell you, this is some stuff that you're going to deal with. And may not even just be African dudes. It might just be foreign dudes. And yeah, it's some ones right here on American soil that is trifling like that too. Probably even more trifling. And they have more access to stuff. And they trifling like that. So it really, I could actually give the dude from the village somewhere from another country, don't know no better. Let him make it some because he don't know no better. You're behind no better. You've been had running water and plumbing all your whole life. So it really ain't no excuse for you to be a trifling nasty dude. Okay. But these are some things that for real you have to deal with. And the narcissism, the gaslighting, all of these things are real things. Don't think just because they coming from Africa that psychopaths and psychotic folks don't come from Africa. They do that gaslighting stuff because, see, they're testing you. They're testing you. They trying to see how far they going to go with it, how far they can get away with it, what you going to take, how bad you want a man. How bad do you want a man? Do you want to, they could be using you And it's like when they see you a whole open doormat, I mean, of course they're gonna take advantage. But on top of that, when they see that you weak, man, they about to eat you alive. And don't think that it's not no woman beaters. Oh, they love nurses. All them African dudes love them some nursing women. Cause see, while you working 15-hour shift, they been and started up a whole nother relationship on you. That's why these girls so eager to have a man, you know, sitting up here, you know. First of all, if the dude is broke, how could you be broke and dating at the same time or trying to date? Those two things don't even go together. You don't even have no money. You're not even ready to go out and do stuff and date, and you don't got no disposable income. Get this, please. Oh, please. And some of y'all are about to get married to these bums. I feel sorry for you.